Hello everybody, and welcome to the second part of my electron configurations lecture. So what we learned before was that the S shape, the S sublevel, it has one orbital and it can hold 2 electrons. The P shape has 3 orbitals and it can hold 6 electrons. The D shape has 5 orbitals and it can hold 10 electrons. And the F shape, the F sublevel, has 7 orbitals and it can hold 14 electrons. There's a typo there, but whatever. That dry slide, I don't want you to memorize that. This is a picture that you should have. SPDF. Every time you go up in energy, what you gain is you gain 2 additional orbitals. So the D shape has all of the rooms that the P shape has, but also 2 extra. Same with the F. And there's actually ones after the F, but we normally don't talk about them because they're too high energy to be dealt with in a normal chemistry course. We also know that when you fill it up, what they do is they go into the lowest energy level possible. You can have 2 maximum. If they have an option, they will not live together. But if you throw more in, and an electron could go here or here, it'll double up if that lets it be in a lower energy shape. So it'll go into the P shape. And then the next ones will fill in like this, and the next ones will fill in like this. So this is what we learned in the last lecture. This is new. Not every energy level has every shape available. That's a metaphor, like M&Ms, right? You have fun-sized M&Ms, normal-sized M&Ms, and big-sized M&Ms. They come in a lot of different sizes. But Baby Bottle Pops, that doesn't come in a lot of different sizes. There's only one size, really. So you have more variety of sizes for the M&Ms than for the Baby Bottle Pops, even though they're both candy. In the same way, the S shape, the S sublevel, there's a lot of different sizes of S. There's a tiny S, and a middle-sized S, and a big S. But there is no fun-sized P shape. The smallest P shape doesn't exist. It could, it just doesn't. There's no smallest size of the P shape. The D shape doesn't come in either of the 2 small sizes, and the F shape only comes in a big size. So this might not be what your energy level looks like. Lower energy levels won't have any F, D, or P. A real atom might look like this, where you have the first energy level, and the second energy level, the third energy level, and the fourth energy level. These different energy levels, which correspond to different sizes of the electron wave, how big or small they are, they don't all have the same sublevels. They don't have the same shapes available. So basically, every time you go up in energy level, you gain the ability to form one extra shape. So the atom really looks kind of like this, where you have the first energy level, second, third, and fourth, right? So that's what these represent. And in every energy level, they all have an S shape, but they don't all have a P shape. Energy level 1 doesn't have a P shape. Then D shape, F shape. So every time you gain an energy level, you also gain one extra kind of shape that you can make. And when you combine these, we say that this is the first energy level's S shape. And this is the third energy level's D shape. So 3D, that's what that means. So hopefully this should make some sense to you now. Individual energy levels, they do fill up the way that we told you before, where the lowest energy levels get filled, and then everybody in the next one gets 1 electron and then they double up. That does happen for individual energy levels, but a real atom is like this, and there's a lot of different energy levels. So as a simplified and not entirely correct first explanation, I'm going to give you this, okay? This is mostly right. The atom fills up from the low energy levels to the high energy levels. So this is what would happen. I throw in an electron. It's going to go into this first S shape. That's where the first 2 are going to go. And the next 2 we're going to go into the second S shape, and then the second P shape. So this fills, and then this fills. And then after that, this one is going to fill. So after that, this fills up like normal. And then finally, you have the 4th energy level, and that fills up like normal. So hopefully this makes sense. It's the same thing that we did before. It just restarts every energy level. Then this fills, then this fills, then this fills. So this simplified model, it works pretty well for the first 18 electrons. But sometimes you have an exception. And we're going to talk about this exception later. I'm going to use a big metaphor to tie it all together, which is a bunch of lazy people moving into an apartment complex, okay? Once I use this big metaphor, I'm going to end this video. This person wants to move into an apartment complex. By the way, this is somebody who is an up electron and this is a down electron. If they're sharing a room, they have to be opposite sides. But don't worry about that if it's confusing. So the first person, he's going to move into the building closest to the entrance because he's lazy, and the ground floor because that's the only floor available. So this is where he's going to go. The second person could choose to move farther away, but he's lazy. He doesn't really want to live farther away. He wants to live close. And there's an empty spot right here. So this guy, the second guy, is going to move in here because there's still space. The third guy, well, he would love to be living here, but he can't live here because it's full. So he's going to go to the second easiest to reach room, which is going to be this one, the ground floor of the second building. The next person will go to the easiest to reach room. The next person, well, this is really the only floor left in that second building, so that's where he's going to go. So he's going to go over here. And then the next person is going to live alone, that's what they prefer. Next person here. And the next three people are going to double up. And then if there's another person, where do they go? I mean, everything is full. The reality is the atom is never full. Whenever you fill an energy level, there's always another one available. So you got to go to the next building. And the next building, he's going to prefer to go to the bottom floor. The next person is going to want to do the same, and so on, and so on, and so on. So it basically fills the same way the other one did, from the lowest to the highest energy levels, but whenever you fill a building, you build a new building with one extra floor on it. So this is how it works in an atom that has several different energy levels, and they don't all have all the shapes. I hope that was helpful.